Harvesting 18650 cells from the hoverboard packs has resulted in many situations in which rewrapping is either required or beneficial. Luckily, wraps are abundant and cheap. I purchased assortment packs at under 3 cents per wrap on Amazon. The downside is that the wraps are a bit too long for my use case. I started off by eyeballing the length and using scissors. This method was fairly fast but resulted in uneven wrapped ends and occasional cuts that were too short. Using a ruler on each cut created more reliable links but was slower and still did not totally resolve the cut asymmetry. My last attempt at hand cutting was to stack several and do a measured cut with a razor knife. This was quicker, but it resulted in the worst cuts and the blade was hard to guide. It was almost impossible to keep the stack from shifting as well. At this point I realized this might be a good use case for 3D printing. I mocked up the case in Fusion 360, nothing more than a pocket of the correct depth and a cutout for my thumb to hold the sleeves. There didn't seem to be an ideal orientation for the print, so I decided to get some experience in tall, thin prints and the challenges around them. My first reached over 87 millimeters before losing adhesion and falling, and my second added a brim, but unfortunately failed very early. After scruffing up the glass a bit more with sandpaper, the brimmed print succeeded. Without a surface to press against, it is a little bit odd cutting the wrappers, but it does work. After a few cuts, I did end up with some layer separation on the front near the bottom of the thumb opening. I immediately recognized it was how much pressure I was putting there while holding, and I changed my grip, but unfortunately the damage was done. The cuts ended up being almost perfect, so I believe the idea is sound, even if the design is a bit flawed. I've continued to use the slightly broken template, being careful not to stress the weak point, and it's been working very well.